Okay, so everyone else is dogpiling on this thing, and I don't have anything else to post about at the moment, so I guess I'll throw in my 2 cents here. I did watch The New War of the Worlds. I was a huge fan of the 1898 novel by H.G. Wells and the original 1953 movie, so when I heard there was a New War of the Worlds movie, I couldn't wait to check it out. The 1953 War of the Worlds is fast-paced, tense, and fully committed to showing the invasion in all of its science fiction glory. It puts you right in the middle of Martian war machines sweeping across the countryside, vaporizing tanks, planes, and entire cities with those iconic heat rays. You see landmarks obliterated, crowds panicking, soldiers fighting and losing, every moment packed with spectacle. The 1953 version stayed true to H.G. Wells' original themes. The Martians aren't defeated by human weapons or clever tricks, but by their inability to handle Earth's bacteria. A poetic and humbling reminder that no matter how advanced a civilization may be, nature still has the final say. The ending carries a sense of awe and inevitability, making the story linger in your mind long after the credits roll. The 2005 War of the Worlds takes the same basic premise and cranks the scale way up with modern effects, but it loses a lot of the original's magic in the process. The Martian war machines are bigger, louder, and more detailed than ever, but the sense of mystery and creeping dread is traded for non-stop chaos. Where the 1953 version built tension with careful reveals and a sort of calm before the storm, the 2005 film rarely stops moving long enough to let you feel the weight of what's happening. At the center of it all is Tom Cruise, doing what Tom Cruise always does. He runs. He runs from the initial tripod attack, runs through collapsing neighborhoods, runs through fields, runs through basements, and runs through the destruction. It's less terrified man caught in an alien invasion and more world record attempt for most sprinting in a sci-fi movie. You half expect the Martians to give up because they couldn't keep up with him. The movie also shifts the focus to a purely personal survival story, following one man's attempt to protect his kids rather than humanity's collective struggle. And while that keeps the stakes intimate, it strips away the grand, humbling scale of the original. It changes the feel, like it's more about the fate of a single family and less about the fate of the entire planet. It's still a spectacle, but it's a spectacle without the awe that made the 1953 version feel so overwhelming. The 2005 version was a downgrade in my opinion, but I had no idea that 20 years later, they would actually manage to make it far worse. The 2025 War of the Worlds takes one of the most exciting invasion premises in science fiction history and somehow makes it completely boring. No more sweeping battlefield shots, no real chaos in the streets, no death and destruction, and no sense that the entire planet is locked in a desperate struggle. None of that. Just Ice Cube at a desk, going through security feeds while aliens wreak havoc somewhere off screen. This version turns War of the Worlds into something completely unrecognizable. It may as well have had a completely different title. There's a pregnant young black woman who is a flawless super scientist, a hacker son who stirs up trouble before conveniently saving the day, and the entire climax hinges on an Amazon delivery drone bringing a thumb drive. This version of War of the Worlds is the first movie in history to make alien invasions boring. The world is ending, but instead of seeing the world ending, we're watching a man watch the world end. The aliens arrive for our data, not our planet, not our resources, not to enslave mankind. They just want our data. That's it. That's the premise. We never actually see the invasion in any meaningful way because the entire thing takes place on computer screens, security footage, and video calls. And while that format can work when it's used for suspense, here it just doesn't. Ice Cube is playing Homeland Security surveillance guy Will Radford. He spends the whole film clicking through security camera feeds, FaceTime calls, and Facebook. Alien tripods could be leveling entire cities, but all we get is a thumbnail in the corner of his screen while he stares, furrowing his brow. And while Ice Cube's performance is something, his furrowed brow is the main character. In the first act, it's just mildly concerned, like he found out the price of eggs went up. By the middle, the brow has deepened to, I think my neighbor's stealing my cable. By the finale, it's like a deeply furrowed geological marvel. Every moment of tension, every plot twist, every alien attack is filtered through Ice Cube's ever-deepening scowl. The brow is the emotional core that carries the entire film. And then there's Faith Radford, his daughter, pregnant, brilliant, scientist, because of course she is. Modern Hollywood has this obsession with making every young black girl the smartest person in the room. Scientist, inventor, coder, hacker, astrophysicist, take your pick. The young black female genius in every movie has every skill needed to solve the movie's central crisis. And Faith is the ultimate version of this trope. She's sequencing alien DNA while carrying a baby to term. Anytime the plot needs brilliance, she comes along with the exact information the story needs. Then there's Dave Radford, the hacker son who kicks off the whole mess by poking around in a top-secret government supercomputer called Goliath. This kid is the oops heard around the world. He's the reason the aliens know where to attack, and yet by the end, he's the hero. He redeems himself by helping shut it down, which somehow ends the invasion. And of course, we can't forget Mark, Faith's boyfriend, who works for Amazon as a delivery driver. This is where the movie's product placement takes a huge swan dive into pure ridiculousness. In the climactic moment, Mark saves humanity by delivering a thumb drive via Amazon drone. You heard that right. The drone swoops in, package dangling, and no one bats an eye. No one stops to say, wait, did Amazon just save the planet? They just roll with it, as if corporate drone delivery is a perfectly normal part of alien warfare. It's not the military, it's not international cooperation, it's Amazon's delivery service coming through in the clutch. And that's the problem with this entire movie. It takes something thrilling and strips away everything that makes it thrilling. There's no spectacle, no stakes, just people in separate rooms talking about things happening somewhere else. You keep hearing about all these amazing things that are supposedly happening, but you never actually see them. The aliens' big scary reveal is that they're in our cloud storage, which is really lame. By the time the credits start to roll, you find yourself sitting there realizing that nothing actually happened. Ice Cube clicked on some things. Faith spat out solutions. Dave pressed a button. Mark delivered a package. And then all the aliens just kind of left. Or maybe they died. I honestly can't remember. But that was it. That was the entire movie. The funniest part is that the movie clearly thinks it's clever. The way it treats the Amazon drone as a genuine mic drop moment, the way it tries to build suspense around security footage, the way it tries to frame data as the scariest thing aliens could want, it all feels like someone was in a pitch meeting and had absolutely nothing to pitch, but he just started talking because he didn't want to blow his big moment, and somehow it was greenlit. So you will not get any enjoyment out of War of the Worlds, and if you do, it's unintentional. I love cheesy movies, I love bad science fiction. I've mentioned before that Flash Gordon from 1980 is one of my all-time favorite movies, and I'm well aware that it's a turd. But this is something far worse than bad or cheesy. It's actually insulting. They suckered me in with the title, and I fell for it. If aliens ever really do show up and they want our data, they'll be defeated the moment they consume War of the Worlds 2025, because it really is that bad. Anyway, that's it. Am I right? Am I wrong? Let me know all the reasons I'm an idiot in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, click notifications, and I will see you next time.